What's up, Magic players? It's Doyle, your host here on DoylePrimeMTG, where I bring you the latest and greatest in Magic content that I can, while still trying to have a life. This week, I wanted to do Human Tribal in Selesnya, to appease those who might have picked up the precon. Although, I didn't really like any of those commanders, so I decided to let Katilda light our way.
Forests, islands, mountains, plains, and swamps. The multiverse is all that is, or ever was, or ever will be. There is a tingling in the spine, a faint sensation, as if a distant memory, of walking from plane to plane. Our lives have been forever changed, as if by magic. Embark with me on this journey to eternity. Experience the true power of mind over matter as we ignite your spark and traverse into the magic multiverse.
Katilda Dawnheart Prime wasn't in the precon, but it's an inexpensive legendary from the main set. She costs green-white for a legendary 1/1 human warlock with protection from werewolves, and 2 major abilities. Humans you control have tap to add 1 mana of this creature's colors, and 4 green-white and tap to put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. This is basically a Cryptolith in the command zone with upside, so we will have plenty of mana from our low-cost humans to ramp us into the endgame quite early. Avacyn's Pilgrim and Heronblade Elite will ramp us up outside of our commander's ability, while allowing us to fix our mana. Leyline of Abundance will allow us to double up our creature-generated mana. Cultivate and Kodama's Reach will each allow us to ramp with a basic land, while replacing itself with another in our hand. Nissa's Pilgrimage will allow us to find multiple forests and put them into play tapped. Harvest Season will allow us to find a bunch of basic lands into play tapped to secure our board state. We will also include Vitalize, 2 Arms, Curse of Bounty, Quest for Renewal, Seedborn Muse, Village Bellringer, and Awakening to untap all creatures that we control. Among these, Winding Canyons and Crop Rotation will help us utilize all this extra mana while our opponents are building up their forces. This will conclude our ramp section since we get so much mana directly from our commander's ability. Drawing cards in this deck will be important since we need to hit our land drops and rapidly increase our board size. Skullclamp and Vanquisher's Banner will allow our creatures to draw us cards, coming and going. Rite of Harmony, Inspiring Call, Shamanic Revelation, and Camaraderie will each draw us a large burst of cards, launching us into the lead. Esper Sentinel and Beast Whisperer will each draw us multiple cards per cycle on a body. Augur of Autumn and Realmwalker can allow us to play spells from the top of our library, generating us card advantage in the process. Moving on to the control section, we will have a few extra control pieces, since our ramp is so heavily covered in our command zone. Starting with our board wipes, Austere Command and Winds of Abandon can often dodge our creatures while wiping away our opponent's battle plans. Kyber Takedown will allow us to deal a bunch of damage to a single creature or planeswalker. Sundering Growth will allow us to destroy an artifact or enchantment while populating a token. Swiftfoot Boots, Lightning Greaves, and 1,000-Year Elixir will each let us use hasty abilities. Odric Lunarch Marshal will allow us to spread our keyword abilities across our board. Sereth the Viper's Fang can give all of our creatures Hexproof or Death Touch depending on their tap state. Revel Squad will allow us to deter attacks against us by threatening to untap all of our creatures anytime that an attack comes our way. Mother of Runes will allow us to protect 1 creature per turn with her tap ability. Ulvenwald Tracker will allow us to force fights with its tap ability. Devout Chaplain can exile an artifact or enchantment with its tap ability. Frontline Medic will allow us to attack safely with all of our creatures by giving them all indestructible. Masako the Humorless will allow our tapped creatures to block as if they weren't tapped. Druid of Purification will allow us to destroy multiple artifacts or enchantments on an Enter the Battlefield trigger. Eternal Witness will allow us to return a card from our graveyard to our hand on an ETB. Timeless Witness will allow us to do the same, giving us an emergency option with the Eternalize ability. We will abuse these ETB abilities with Temur Sabertooth and Kogla Titan Ape. Returning these creatures to our hand will allow us to repeatedly get these triggers as well as other triggers for humans entering play. Kogla will even allow us to remove creatures through fighting and remove artifacts and enchantments through attack triggers. Village Bellringer can combo with these cards to help create infinite mana, infinite creature ETB triggers, and infinite creature cast triggers. Finally, Sigarda Heron's Grace will protect our humans and ourselves by giving hexproof. Closing out the game will be a toss-up between going tall and going wide. Champion of the Parish, Shauna Sisay's Legacy, and Thalia's Lieutenant will each get taller and taller each time a human enters our battlefield. Hanwar Militia Captain, Thraben Doomsayer, and Castle Ardenvale will each produce a human creature token once per turn cycle. Adolin Resplendent Cathar and Reverent Hoplite can each produce a larger amount of human tokens. Odric Master Tactician, Abzan Falconer, and Champion of Lambholt can each make sure that our creatures can attack unblocked for the finish. Finally, we will stack up our field through Gavany Township, Wild Beastmaster, Mikaeus the Lunarch, Mirror Entity, Juniper Order Ranger, Kyler Sigardan Emissary, and Kamal Heart of Krosa. The lands in this deck will look to simply fix our colors. These will include Command Tower, Path of Ancestry, Canopy Vista, Fortified Village, Overgrown Farmland, Selesnya Sanctuary, Sungrass Prairie, Sunpetal Grove, Temple Garden, and Temple of Plenty, leaving us room for 12 forests and 10 plains. That about wraps it up for this deck tech. I hope you've enjoyed the video. You'll find the link to the full deck list on arcadeck.com in the description, complete with a maybe board. Let me know in the comments below if you would take this deck in a different direction, or if there are any key includes that I missed. Cheers, and happy casting! If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit that like button, and also share it with your friends. If you want to see more videos like these, or hear me ramble about how to navigate this magic multiverse, go ahead and click that subscribe button to stay up to date on the latest from me, Doyle Prime, and the happenings throughout Magic the Gathering. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you all next video.